Hey guys, today we're going to go over alignment on the lasers. Now I know I've done a couple videos on how to align your lasers, but I'm still getting a lot of questions in the forum, and I've seen a lot of them on some of my social media accounts of how to align mirrors. So I guess I didn't do that too good of a job at the first episode. So I want to go ahead and go over this. This is also my barn find laser. If you guys have any interest in watching me restore this machine, this is going to be the first time that I actually fire the machine. Well, I fired it just a second ago to make sure to fire so we can align the mirrors. But this is, we're going to actually see some smoke coming off of this thing. So if you want to go back and see me restore this machine, you can check the playlist. I can put a link to the playlist up here or at the end. So I went ahead and pulled the some X spare parts that I have for some machines laying out for some mirrors, and I can show you just how simple it is to align your mirrors, even if they're way off. All you're going to need is some masking tape and a pen, believe it or not. That's it. So let's get started. Okay, fellow laser enthusiasts, this is what I'm going to refer to as mirror 1. This is the closest one to your tube. So your laser tube comes out here, and then the very end of the lens on your laser tube emits the laser beam, and it goes into this mirror here, and then it's supposed to reflect and go to mirror 2. So this is left to right on your gantry. So 1, 2, and 3. So as we go through the steps of focusing your mirrors, that's what I'll be referring to. 1, 2, and 3. We want to have the laser tube. I'm not showing you how to do the laser tube. If you guys want to know how to change out the laser tube, you can watch this video up here. I have a great link and I'll show you how to switch out the laser tubes if you want to watch that, just if it interests you. My tube is parallel to my gantry, and all of my mirrors are parallel to my tube. So it's going to emit a laser beam, if you would. My dowel rod is the laser beam coming out of the tube. So we go to mirror 1. We want mirror 1 to hit about dead center of the mirror. Now you don't need, you can see I have this cool little set. By the way, if you guys are interested in a cool little set, you can check it. I have a link in the description below, and I'll show you where to get this set. This is actually quite a nice set. And okay, so this set's here. It's going to emit out of the tube, and we want that to hit dead center of this mirror. This is the only one we really care about. Dead center of mirror 1. Okay? So the tube's going to come in here. It's going to hit dead center. And once we get that hitting dead center, which if you just did a tube replacement, or if you've been aligned before in the past, you most likely don't even need to adjust that. So this is adjusting the tube to get your tube like this to hit dead center. So odds are it's already hitting pretty close to dead center. Pretty close is probably good enough when it comes to this mirror. And then this mirror is going to emit. Now, another thing that I see that's tripping people up is laser beams are straight, and they're perfectly straight, like this this dowel rod here. So it's going to hit this, okay, and then it's going to reflect off of this mirror over to mirror 2. And then I'm going to show a close-up of me actually aligning the mirrors. I'm just trying to better explain this for you. You can see here, all of my machines have 3 set screws in the back. I have seen them with 4, but all the machines that I currently have 3 set screws. So the top set screw, if you tighten that top set screw up, pretend this is my laser beam. Okay, this is my laser beam. We're going to tighten this set screw up. It's actually going to drop the beam if we tighten that and go away from the set screw. So it's going to go away from the set screw, greatly exaggerated because these are micro adjustments. Your bottom screws, because what you're doing is you're pushing this plate around, okay, and you're reflecting light. So the bottom 2 screws, it's the same thing. So if you tighten them up, you're going to be going away from the screw. So this one screw here, we tighten it up, it's going to go away from it and up. Okay, same thing in the reverse. If you loosen them, okay, it's going to go towards them and down towards them if you loosen them. Same's true for all of the adjustments if you have the 3 sets. If you have 4, you just have an extra adjustment, that's all. Alright, let's keep going. Alright, so I think I've already told you this, but we're going to move this all the way forward, okay, and it's going to pulse. Alright, I'll explain that a little bit in here in the paper. In fact, I might do some really cool photo editing and intermingle what I'm teaching you right now, so it's really cool. You see just how awesome the editing experience that I have, because I do all my own editing for you guys. All right, this comes over here. We pulse. We see on the paper, which you're going to see here in just a second. And we get it so it looks pretty much dead center. Then we move it away as far away as possible. Now we're going to wind up with, it's not going to be perfect yet, so don't think that it is. And don't move to the next mirror, because you're not done. This is where a lot of people are tripping up. So yes, it might be lined up from here to here, but if my laser beam is off adjustment just a tiny bit, it might line up. But the further away you go, the greater this goes out of focus. The greater it goes out of alignment, I'm sorry. So don't move away yet. So here, pulse, away, okay? And you actually want to pulse again, and then adjust it so your laser beam winds up being in adjustment from far away. Now, when you come up front here and you pulse, and you come out here and you adjust it until it's perfectly like I'm about to show you, you're now in alignment from here to here. You should be able to move it here in pulse and come all the way out here as far away as you can, as far as your machine will let you go on the x-axis, and pulse again. And they should be hit dead center on my hashes that I'm going to show you about those hashes here in just a second. Just instead of on this lens, we're doing on this lens. So now this is an alignment from here to here. Okay, you can be moved all the way out here, you can be moved all the way out here, it doesn't matter because your pulses are on top of each other, so this is in perfect alignment. Adjusting this mirror down here is not going to affect the previous alignment. Only adjusting this mirror will affect this alignment. Now we're worried about this alignment from 2 to 3. So we need to adjust 2 to 3, so we bring this y-axis all the way over as close as it could possibly get, and we'll send a pulse. All right, and then we'll send that pulse. This will come through, it'll pulse, and once it hits your paper and you kind of like where it is, say it's about center, okay, and then we move this as far away as possible. Odds are this is going to be your furthest go. So we have a reflection as you're bending the light. So we went into this mirror and it bends 90 degrees-ish. And it goes towards this pulse. So we're good here, but come far away, if we're out just a millimeter, say we're perfect here, but if we move another 20 inches, 48 inches, 96 inches, whatever you have on your machines, odds are if you have a 96-inch machine, you know how to do this. If you go all the way down and away, it just greatly affects. The further away you go, is the worse it gets. Until we can go as far away as we can, and we'll pulse, and we'll get this to line up with that hashtag that I'm going to show you here in just a second. And once you can get this to line up here and all the way down there, and have it pulse on top of each other, now 2 to 3 is now in alignment. There's one more step, which is going to be better off showing you this one on the machine live. So get some masking tape. You're just going to rip it and pile it on top of each other, maybe 6 or 7 times, until you wind up with a really thick piece of masking tape. By the way, before you do your alignment, it's a great idea to go ahead and clean your mirrors and clean your lenses. Okay, get that done first, so we're not wasting time here. You can take your lenses and mirrors out, you might have to realign it. Okay, so you see the masking tape. Right here is the mirror. We'll go right over the masking tape, right over top of it. Now I'm not going to push down here into the mirror. We want to keep our mirrors clean. That's the whole point of thickening up the masking tape. It's very important that you're thickening up the tape. That way you don't hurt your mirror. It's the whole point in doing the thicken up your tape. I also recommend that you grab yourself a felt tip Sharpie or a fine point Sharpie, black, because you'll be able to see through this now. I'm at my home shop, not my professional shop, so I can't find one. So I'm going to use a ballpoint pen. But use a fine tip Sharpie. They work better. If not, whatever. You use all these ballpoint pen. So let's move closest. We're going to get mirror 1 and 2 as close as possible right now. Okay, there's my mirror 1 way back there, and mirror 2. Now I believe I already told you that the tube should already be fairly close into it. If not, I mean, even if your tube's a little off level, it doesn't matter, okay? It's still going to bend this into the mirror here. Okay, so now we pulse. And you can see that sweetness. Okay. We're gonna scroll out. Sorry, I have to have you off the tripod for this. This is really difficult to do while recording by myself if I need a cameraman. Alright, so I'm going to move the gantry mirror 1, mirror 2 as far away as possible from each other. That's front to back. Do that. Press the button, okay? Press the down button and get it 1 and 2 as far away as possible. In this case, it's only like 20 inches. Tiny laser. There to there, okay? Now, piece a little off resistance. I'm actually gonna move it up a little bit. I'll move it back. It doesn't have to be pretty. What a blob. Holy crap. Alright. We have a storm coming through. Hopefully nothing bad happens. Alright. Now we're going to get another piece of masking tape. And all we're going to do is cover one piece of masking tape over the burn mark. Now we pulse. This sounds really weird because my hand is right in the line. Putting the tape in there, I'm going to do this. Alright, pulse. That whoosh is a good thing, okay? Alright, so this is what we're looking for. Okay, so this is the piece that was on the mirror, over the mirror, not on the mirror. We don't want this residue, sticky residue to get in the mirror. Okay, and this is the pulse that I'm happy with. So we'll open this up here. You can see that that falls right over top of the hashtags that we made. And I did this. I didn't ever replace the back piece of tape during the process. Okay, so I would pulse this, and as we got close and I wasn't happy with it, we'd peel this off, put a new one on, or adjust it like this, and then it'd make a minor adjustment to mirror 1 until it landed directly on that. So every pulse, peel the tape, put a new piece of tape on, make a minor adjustment, peel the tape until you're happy. It's going to be a lot easier for me to show you that it's going to be a lot easier for me to show you that here in just a second. And then on mirror 2 to 3, might be a little easier. Okay, so I'm going to show you the adjustments on mirror 2 to 3 because it's a lot easier to show it to somebody on camera than 1 to 2. 1 to 2 is different. So it's the same process, it's just different mirrors. Same process, promise. Okay, so I actually have the same one that I already built up. Let's see. Okay, here, going to put it over top of that hole, like so. We're going to move this as close as we can to mirror 2. So now we have mirror 2 as close to mirror 3 as possible, and we're going to click pulse. See the flame? It means my tube's good. Now we're going to move as far away from mirror 2 as possible. So let me readjust my camera. Okay. Got a hash mark. Ooh, don't let that move. Hash mark, hash mark, hash mark, hash mark. Okay. So our goal is to get this to land here. Watch it be perfect. And make sure you close your lid and pulse. So maybe you can see. So you can see my hash mark. Let's get the pencil. You can see my hash mark here, okay? And here, and you see that this drops low of the hash mark. This isn't that bad, but it's not that good. So we actually want to move this up just a little bit and to the left. So up and to the left. All right. So we actually want to move up and to the left. And that could be accomplished simply by tightening this one set screw just a tiny bit. And I mean very tiny. So you want to break that adjustment screw free from here. And then tighten just a hair. Let's pulse and see how it looks. Ooh, that's close. It's over a little bit, I think. So, I'm not 100% sure how this looks with this one here and this one here. So the beauty in the way this is, I can just peel this first layer of tape off. And now I see my original mark with the hashtag. And I'll just put that right over top of the hashtag. Let's just pulse again. Pulse one more time here. Here we go. So it looks like I went up plenty, but I went to the left too much. So I want to move to the over here to the right, just a hair. Now the only way to move a perfectly straight left and right is to adjust both of these the exact same amount. So we want to move a little bit to the right, so we'll loosen these two and bring this plate back a little bit if I have room. The same amount. So I loosen this one and this one, move my plate this way, and made my dowel rod or laser beam move just a little bit to the right. So let's see how that adds up. Okay, pulse. Okay, it's hard to see, so I'm actually going to take this tape and I'm going to put a new piece of tape on there, right here. See? And pulse. That looks pretty good. So this is what we're left with. I'm okay with this one. Now this only took me a couple of adjustments. So this laser was put away in alignment, so it really wasn't too bad. So you may need to make a couple more adjustments than I did, but really it shouldn't take more than a few. So we're hit here, and I pulsed it an extra time to make it go through, and hit here. Right on top of the other one. Okay, and you can clearly see that over here to here. So you can see the advantage of, like, this is like 6 or 7 pieces of masking tape, so a pulse isn't enough to go through it. You're going to say, oh, well, my laser beam cut through 1/2-inch plywood, blah, blah, blah. Not until it goes through the focusing lens. Then maybe we'll talk. Maybe you can. Okay, let's get this next step done. This is a step that a lot of people miss, and it's actually pretty important. So guess what you're going to need? Piece of masking tape. Let's get going. Okay, so I got my piece of masking tape, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to put it here underneath the focal lens. So the focal lens is in here, the nozzle is still intact. There's a way to align this, but let's see if we're even coming out. If we're coming out the tube or not. I have my air assist turned off just so it's not noisy. What you're hearing in the background is actually the cooler, which I do need for my laser tube to not burn up. And I'm just going to take this guy, and I'm going to put it right here, and I want to make sure it's stuck nice and good and leave an indent. Okay? Just leave an indent. Make sure your hands are clear. Okay? Shut your door. I have my safety systems bypassed. Shut your door, and pulse. Okay? So we can clearly see that I went all the way through this. And it went down in here onto this carbon and ignited. So let's see how this looks. We'll pull this off. Okay, not so hot. Not so bad either. I say that a lot, I don't know why. Okay, so this is what you're seeing around the outer edge here. That's the nozzle. Okay, and that's the laser tube. So I'm actually going to make a minor adjustment and pull this down this way. We achieve that by moving it front right. And I can do that simply by loosening this one screw. Okay, now let's see. Pulse. Alright, that's dead center. Close enough to dead center. Keep it simple, guys. Right there. So that's coming out dead center from the focal lens is coming out dead center from the through the nozzle. Now, if it's not hitting the nozzle when you go to pulse, I'll show you what you need to do real quick. It's pretty simple. It's just an extra step. Okay. you actually just need to remove the nozzle. Okay, take your tape, right, your piece of masking tape, put it in the bottom here where you would put your nozzle, and pulse. Okay, and now we know the indent, we left an indent, okay, and that's where it's pulsing right here. And now get that to where it looks like it's about center into that indent. Then put your nozzle on, and then adjust from the nozzle. Okay guys, I hope you learned something today. Let me know in the comments if I helped you or if I made it worse for you. Maybe your machine's way out of whack now. I don't know, I'm sorry, I've never done this before. Just my little disclosure, I could be wrong, right? Let me know in the comments. Remember, keep it simple, don't overcomplicate, stay groovy. Peace out.